then the third thing that is really a lot less frequent, is probably, I don't know, 5% of the time, is that the microphones on the back of the hearing aid get blocked with debris. So this is where sound moves into the machine. And so, if it's blocked, there's nothing going in. Before, it was the going out that was blocked. So usually there's a brush somewhere in their bag. And the brush is for cleaning off those holes on the back of the hearing aid so that sound can get in. Yeah. So those are the 3 most common things. Sometimes you have a truly dead hearing aid. You do all of these things and it's still dead. And then it's something internal. It could be a wiring problem. Often it's moisture damage of some sort. If it got dropped, or we stepped in the shower, it got dropped into some fluid, and then it has to go in for repair. But it happens, yes. So if you need to reach me, also lost hearing aids, I can help with lost hearing aids. So I usually have the serial numbers. If I don't, and you tell me what they're wearing on the other ear, I can call the company and find out, there's a way to figure out whether a hearing aid is under warranty. That's what we want to know. So if there's a hearing aid that goes missing, we want to see if it's under warranty. If it is, we can get another one. There's a $200 deductible to do that, but it's not like $2,000.
Right.
Yeah. So to reach me, I have some cards. You guys probably have some, but I'll leave them with you. Our main scheduling phone number is 643 here for the clinic, Johnson Audiology. That's the number to call. Somewhere in a directory here for Kendall, there's a audiology clinic number listed for the landline in the lab that I sit in.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm only there on Tuesdays, so people call and leave messages, and sometimes they wait a week to hear back from me, and it's frustrating for them. So if they really want to reach me and hear back quickly, it's better to call the main line, because there's someone who's picking up and calling me when needed. For the record, people can also make appointments online. If you don't want to deal with calling back and forth and trouble hearing on the phone, you can go to the website, johnsonaudiology.org, and just click on make an appointment, and you can just book it online, which is a lot easier. Yeah, especially sometimes residents are in the dining room and the schedulers, I'll call about what's a good time to reach you, and this can go on for a couple days. So if you can just click on and book it, it's over. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's most of what I was going to show you. One other thing. A lot of hearing aids now are not battery operated anymore. They're coming in with chargers. Have you guys seen these?
Yeah, we have somebody with those.
They're very popular, but no one ever trained anyone on what the chargers are all about. So basically, this is Phonak, which I do the most of, so you'll probably see this charger the most.
Yep.
When you plug them in, it starts blinking. Blinking is good, it means it's charging.
Could you start again? Where does it start?
This is a charger. Yours are not
Oh,
rechargeable,
charger, yeah.
but yeah, like if you didn't want to change batteries in your hearing aid, you could get hearing aids that have a charger.
Oh.
So in this case, the person just puts the hearing aid in the charger, it starts blinking, which means it's charging, and it takes 3 hours to charge.
Oh.
Wow.
In 3 hours, you get solid green, which means all done, it's fully charged. And then when you take it out, you have 24 hours before it dies.
Oh,
So as long as they're plugging it in every night, they should never really run out of juice. Sometimes you'll get a red light or a yellow light, and that just means it's almost dead, so get it in there. There are a couple of these models. This one, the resident should really know, but this model, which was the first one, when you take it out of the charger, you have to push and hold on the button to turn it on before you put it in your ear. It blinks, and then you put it on.
Oh, okay.
That caused all sorts of confusion. So now the more recent, the more modern hearing aid, you don't have to turn it on. You pull it out and you put it in your ear. So the residents should know. I go over this with them when they get it, but just so you know, some of them you have to turn them on and some of them you don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
And the last little thing, and then I'll see if you guys have questions. There's a captioned phone set up in the waiting room in the health clinic. It's a great phone. So if you have someone with hearing aids and they still can't hear on the phone, this is a phone that is free through the state, and it has captions. So they pick up the phone and they talk on the phone, but if they miss something, it's all captioned for them, so they can read while they're listening. It has a little delay, because there's literally someone typing.
Right.
But it's nice and it's free, and I can order it for anybody who needs it. There's probably half a dozen residents who have them now.
And the voice transcribes letters.
Yes, it's really nice, so you never kind of miss a beat.
There you go.
They also have an app, so if we have a resident who likes it but doesn't really want a landline, you can put it on your cell phone, and when you take a phone call, you just see the text running down. So there are all sorts of nice, other resources if someone's like really struggling, and we've done all we can with the hearing aids and they're still having trouble on things like the phone or the TV or specific things. Okay, that's all I have. Do you guys have questions?
There is, we have a resident who is basically has, it's, I don't know, it's like Bluetooth.
Yep.
So when a guest comes in, they wear some type of
Yes.
microphone. Is that
Yes.
something that's accessible to everybody?
Yes. So there are some people who have a lot of trouble hearing with any background noise.
Yeah.
Even a little bit of side conversation, and it muddies the water for them.
Yeah.
And so in those cases, we recommend a little microphone
Okay.
that they give someone else to wear. So the idea is, if I'm wearing hearing aids and I can't hear in background noise and I want to hear you, I give you my mic and you clip it on and you start talking, and it picks up your voice and it sends your voice wirelessly to my hearing aids, and suddenly you take precedence over all the junk in the room.
Oh, wow.
It works very well, but they're expensive, so not everybody gets them.
Right.
And there's only one mic, and you're not gonna like pass it around when there's multiple people talking, so it's limited. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's best for kind of one-on-one, but it does work
Okay.
in a dining room. If you wanna go and talk to one person in a sea of noise, you can
Yeah.
actually do it, but it's one person really.
Okay.
They've come up with some table mic options, but they're not as good as when you have the mic right next to the person's mouth that you want to hear.
Right.
So I'm happy to talk to people about those products, but it's like buying a third hearing aid.
Okay.
They're really expensive.
Okay.
Yeah.
And probably Medicare wouldn't cover any of
So
that.
good question. Medicare doesn't cover any hearing aids. They will cover a hearing test
Okay.
if it's considered medically necessary according to their guidelines. So they will cover a hearing test if there's any symptom reported: ear pain, ringing, pressure, change in hearing. My hearing is different, it's changed.
Okay.
They'll cover it for any changes or new symptoms. They won't cover a hearing test if someone comes in and says, I think my hearing's pretty stable, I'm not having any problems, but it's been a while and I want it checked. They won't cover it. You have to actually report that there's a change.
Okay.
So that's one thing. There has to be a change, and we need a referral from a physician
Okay.
or a nurse practitioner. But there has to be a referral on file for Medicare to cover. So they
Okay.
have these rules that make it really cumbersome.
Yeah.
Yes,
But
it
the
is for
medical
Medicare
team,
people.
or Dr. Dacey and their team
Right.
is really good at this. I mean, I will just ask them same day and they'll send over a referral, and we're starting to get that really smooth.
Yeah.
but they won't cover, Medicare will not cover any hearing aids, which is so sad.
And it's
Or glasses,
preventative.
or
It is.
dental, or, yeah.
But it's
so-
quality of life.
Oh, it's just really, I
Yeah.
mean, we're fighting it, we have been for years, but it's,
It's too bad diabetes can't be related to the ears. Well, that's just,
Yeah.
you can get an eye exam
Right.
if you're diabetic, and it'll be paid for by Medicare.
is that right?
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting.
If you and I just go to the eye doctor and we're not diabetic and we're
Right.
Medicare,
Yeah.
then the answer is no.
Right,
But there's a medical reason I need to have my eyes
yes,
checked.
right, it's the same thing,
The same thing.
has
Right.
some
Has to be a
medical reason.
you're getting a hearing.
That's right. I'm glad you mentioned that because there's also, as you guys are kind of talking to people and trying to figure out, hello,
Hi.
welcome.
I'm Karen.
Hi Karen.
Hey, Karen.
As you guys are talking to folks and trying to figure out who might need a baseline hearing test, there are some medical conditions that are kind of considered comorbidity. You know, like the incidence of hearing loss is greater when you have X. And they are a history of smoking, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and there's one other, it's not coming to me, but I have a nice article on that too. So, yeah, something to keep in mind is one other thing that you could check.
Now, is there a way for them to trial hearing aids before having to make such a big purchase?
Yes,
Okay.
there is. So we have like loaner hearing aids
Okay.
for when people have to send their hearing aids out for repair, so they're not off the air for 2 weeks.
Mhm.
It's $50 an ear to do that, so it's $100. It's really for my time to set the prescription. But they're older. They're not
Okay.
like the most current technology. So usually if they want new hearing aids, we order them custom for each
Okay.
person. So I don't have lots of brand new hearing aids lying around that people can try. I have
Right.
older ones.
Okay.
Within 5 years, I mean, they're still very good. But yeah, so yes, you can try them, but they're older, considered a loaner. It's $50 an ear.
Okay.
$50 a year?
An ear,
So like-
per ear. Yeah,
So like if somebody passes away and they have hearing aids
yes,
and the family's just gonna throw them out,
yes,
would you be willing to accept them?
yes, we
You
are
would?
doing that, yes.
Okay, that's something to think
Yes.
about when
Yeah.
our residents pass,
Yeah.
if they have hearing aids.
Yeah, or if somebody's,
To donate
you
them
know,
to you and.
yeah.
That's a good idea, yeah.
Yeah, we have, well, there's also a program at Dartmouth Hitchcock where they'll take them and they, you know, we have an application there where if you, you have to meet income cutoff to qualify, but if you do, you get a free used hearing aid and they refurbish ones that are donated. I'm starting to do the same thing here because, you know, if you're in the health center and you've lost multiple sets, it's really hard to buy another set of
Right.
expensive hearing aids, and
Right.
those are the cases where we try to find somebody who's
And
donating.
who's on the one that I ordered, or reordered?
I,
Alice?
I have the aid. They did not have the mold on file from her, so I need to see her today and take an
Okay.
impression of her ear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Timing? You tell me.
Maybe late in the day, could, I have to look at the schedule, but maybe like
Okay, just
3:30
give me
or
a call.
4, something like that, okay, yeah.
All right.
So I have a question,
Yes.
because I work down in Whittier, and I know most of the residents, not all of them,
Yes.
wear hearing aids. But they still can't hear,
Right,
and I'm going like, what the heck?
yeah,
I'm ready to buy one of those.
yeah,
Megaphones.
yeah, yeah,
And they have different hearing aids.
yes,
So the one lady has one where it fits in the ear and then you can adjust it. But you can't tell if you're turning it up
yes,
or you're turning it down when I look at it.
okay,
And, you know, she, I know, sometimes sits there and she plays with it and she plays with it and she still can't hear me. So
okay,
I'm going like, so
what do I
how,
do?
and each hearing aid is so different.
Yes and no.
And how can I help the residents?
Right, Okay,
to hear better.
yes.
Since I don't know anything about them.
Yes.
I was almost throwing your pair out because there was a loose wire I found in a parking lot, and I was gonna throw it out, and it was in my son's office, and then I saw one laying on his desk, and I'm gonna. So I brought it back, and thank God I did, because it wasn't broken. Because it's that new one where one.
Yes,
You know?
yes, yes.
So
It's a valuable piece you found, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, so they didn't have to buy new hearing aids,
Right.
whoever it was, but
Right. So there are many pieces to this
puzzle.
Yes.
I know.
Yes. Sometimes the hearing aids are working just fine. It's just wax blocking off the
Is
sound.
that what it is?
It can be wax in the ear or wax in the aid or both. It's just blocking things up, and they truly can't hear, and
Okay.
it needs to be cleaned, either the ear or the hearing aid or both.
Okay, okay.
Sometimes it's a dead battery, but
Wait, this is what we're always, when you put in the
Yes.
battery, then 2 days later you need another battery. I'm going like, this is not possible.
yeah,
those
that
two
should
batteries-
not be.
Yes.
Unless at night they're not opening the battery, because the battery has to be open so it doesn't run all night long.
Oh, okay, I see.
If
I
they're
noticed
forgetting
that
to do
too, yeah.
that, if you forget, it could run out in 2 days.
Okay, so I have to let the nurses know that.
Yes, always crack that battery
Okay,
door
they probably
open.
know it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, that'll change everything. It'll last like a week instead of 2 days.
Okay.
So that's the first thing. It could be that they're just blocked up. It could be that the hearing has gotten worse and they haven't been tested in 5 years, and the hearing aid's not strong enough, kinda like our glasses. If we
Right.
just wear them for 10 years and we never check,
Like I am,
suddenly
and I
it's
just
not
get new
working
ones.
so well. So I would check to see how long it's been since they've had a hearing test. Maybe we
Right.
need to check it and update the prescription in the hearing aid just like you would glasses.
Okay.
Sometimes they have hearing aids and the prescription was not set properly. I have
Okay.
seen this many times.
Really?
And they paid a lot for hearing aids, they're wearing them religiously, they're, committed, and they're not hearing. And it's
Okay.
because whoever said it made a mistake, they made a mistake and they said
Right.
it too weak.
Right.
So sometimes it's worth it to get a second opinion on the prescription in the hearing aid to make sure it's powerful enough
Right.
for them.
You really just do that without me.
Those are probably the 3 biggest things. We did a little bit of troubleshooting earlier. There are a couple other places where the hearing aid could be faulty.
Okay.
Do you guys have a listening stethoscope? That would
I
be
don't know.
handy.
I don't know if they do downstairs. I'm not.
So
in
you
the- I'm
can
in- oh,
get
yeah.
one of these online. They're super cheap. I
Okay.
mean, they're under $10 or something. And if you clean off the hearing aid,
Okay. Should have the older one of those.
if you clean off the hearing aid and you wanna just listen to it, you can stick the stethoscope on the tip of the hearing aid
Ah,
and listen yourself.
oh, okay.
And maybe it sounds weak, or maybe you hear static, or it's cutting out and coming back, and you go, oh geez, I'm gonna call Julie, something's truly wrong here.
Right.
Or maybe you clean it and you listen to it and it's like, whoa, this
Yeah.
is like crystal clear and really loud and nice. And then maybe it's wax in the ear, maybe they need a hearing test. So it is a certain amount of kind of troubleshooting to figure out what's going on with this one person.
So now these ones.
Yeah.
Heather, do we have
Have
a,
his name on the door.
We
Heather.
don't have them.
So these.
do we have
these
a hearing
actually-
stethoscope?
These
We
now.
did
How,
have a stethoscope. I
how
have
do you
no
know
idea.
that the battery is
But it
actually
was
working?
on
So
their
this
treatment
one
card.
is rechargeable. There's no battery door. I don't know if you've
Ah.
seen this kind.
No, but they have. This is the kind I actually found. And
Really?
I was gonna throw it away because I figured there must be something wrong with it.
So this one plugs in to
Oh,
the
see
charger at
that?
night. Sorry, got something
Oh,
at
okay.
the end. And it
Oh, I
charges at
see.
night, but most of the time there's a door.
Oh, okay. Okay. So the nurses know that part of it. So
They do?
it's- yes,
Okay.
They did know. I think
Yeah.
they know that.
But if you had one of these, you could take it off and listen first
That is such a great
and
idea.
go, okay, sounds loud and clear, here we go. And just be confident that you're putting sound in the ear and not an earplug.
Right.
Because sometimes you're just
That's
plugging
what
them
I-
up if it's not working and making
Right.
matters worse.
Right.
Yeah.
Now the other one, the one lady has, it's I guess an older version, right, where it covers the whole ear.
Yes.
And it's and you has that little
So I don't know
wheel.
if they saw it.
Yes.
You make it louder and lower.
Yes.
No, they cleaned up.
So
the
Paul-
part.
I
know
don't
if
have
they
one
did
of those,
any
but
of
I
that
know what you're
stuff.
talking about. So
Paul,
there's
can
like
you
a
show
little-
us can you show us your hearing aid again?
Yes,
Sure.
what Paul has.
Let me see, Paul. Yes.
Yes, just
Yes.
like that.
Yes.
Paul doesn't have a volume wheel, he has a little push button
Right.
instead.
Okay.
But it's the same idea, so she's kind of probably doing something like this,
They
twisting.
last about
Yes.
a week.
Well, she has two
About a
of them.
week.
See,
Yeah.
that lasts
Yeah.
a week?
Yeah, when
Yeah.
I put on a battery, I figure about a week.
Oh,
And
that's
it
good.
says, hey, put on a new battery.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool, okay. So,
So-
yes, she has that,
But
but
she has a volume
she
wheel.
has two of them,
So,
and she has
Here's
this.
the trick.
This is
Okay.
phone act.
Phone app. So when she
Thank
puts
you,
her
Paul.
finger in her
Thank you.
ear,
Thank you.
she puts her finger in the ear. If she's twisting forward towards her nose, she's
Okay.
turning it up.
Okay,
If she twists back towards the back of her body, she's turning it down.
okay.
So, yeah.
That's gonna make it big, because she sits there and she plays with it, and she
And
plays
so
with it.
yeah.
she's
and
probably
keep-
turning it down, that's why she's not hearing it.
Yeah, and then she keeps saying, I can't hear what you're saying, and you're like, you paid that much money for these things and you're not
Right.
working.
Right. The other thing is if she, if she just can't remember this trick, which, she might not remember, I can disable that wheel. So I can set it where it's supposed to be and
And
put it
leave
on
it.
kind of auto, so this doesn't work anymore. And sometimes, you can't inadvertently turn it down anymore,
Yeah.
because that's what can happen.
Yeah, in her situation, she's a little alert still,
Yes,
so
okay,
she likes
she
to
likes
be-
it,
Yeah,
okay.
she likes to do it
Okay.
herself, yeah.
Yeah,
But this makes a lot of sense. I just try to figure out, how, you just put batteries in it, how come it doesn't work,
Right.
So,
right,
so
it
by
can be
not-
so many things.
Okay, and sometimes they don't, and sometimes I hear them in their pocket or I'm going like, you have your hearing aid? Oh no, I left it on my dresser. I said, well, your dresser heard what I said, but I
Yes,
guess
yes.
you didn't.
Right, you're just. Well, I'm here every Tuesday. If you
Okay.
have something you just can't figure out, I'm happy to help.
Unfortunately, I'm normally not here
On Tuesdays?
No, I wanted to come in to just see how this whole thing works, but
Yeah.
I would love for them to